Hi, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but yeah, it took me a very long time to have the second episode of Plovers Chit Chat. But I am so excited to have this beautiful lady join me today. Her name is Ntombane. Ntombane, say hi to my world.
Family.
I'm so excited. Thank you very much for joining me. I must just say, before we even get into everything else, you, when I first met you, your beauty, your confidence, I found that very intimidating. I've never told you that. I promise. I've never told you that. I found it very intimidating. But I'm so glad that I didn't distance myself and I got to know the layers that are there underneath that beauty. And you know what? This is what most ladies do. We see somebody who's prettier, who dresses well, better than us, and we distance ourselves. We're jealous of them. We cut them off from us. We don't want to know, and we lose out on those things. I am so glad I held on to you. And I'm getting to know you more and more and more and more. How are you?
Keep it coming. I'm good, thanks, Michelle. Yo, I'm so nervous. You are making it even worse
Uh,
by saying all these things. I'm truly
really?
feeling it. Yes,
No, man.
Michelle.
Okay, I'm sorry if I make you feel that way, but I just wanted you to know what I thought of
Okay.
you and what I think of you now. With everything
Yes.
that's happening, this whole noise, and how are you coping? How's everybody else?
We okay, but um, yeah, COVID is just showing us flames. I'm coping okay, except for the fact
Right.
that you don't go home as quite often. With
Mhm.
this said, like seeing my
Right.
grandmother all the time, because for me it's a norm to go home. But unfortunately now, since
Hmm.
she's an elder, you cannot just rock up, you know. Even if you're at home, you need to keep
Right.
your distance. Seeing as we are healthcare
Hmm.
workers, you try and keep it safe for especially for your loved ones.
Right.
But with everything else,
Mm.
I'm coping just fine. Yeah, okay.
Right.
By God's
I'm glad
mercy.
you're okay.
Yeah.
I think we
Mm.
just have to take it a day at a time, because if you want to process all of it in one go, it's all overwhelming. But I'm so glad you're
Definitely.
okay. Is it still fine? Is it still acceptable to say congratulations on your wedding, even though it's been months?
Yes, definitely, Michelle.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Guys, and
Michelle.
Tombani had a beautiful wedding. And your wedding, I hold it so close to my heart because that was the first South African wedding that I attended. I'd never been to one. And
Okay.
I
Mm-mm.
was immersed the whole wedding. There I was, because I just love love stories. I really was immersed. Everything else didn't matter. And I was looking at the two of you, exchange your vows, walk down the aisle. And I was like, I want that for me. And yeah, no, you guys, your wedding was a beautiful one, intimate, and I
Thank
enjoyed it. I did, I did, I
you.
did.
I saw you even in the pictures when I
Right.
was
So
going
there is
through
a
your
very
guest
big
photos.
reason. Uh-huh.
Can
And
you hear
I
me?
think you did send me, there was a picture when I was really looking at your
Yeah,
hubby.
you're like, you were like so emotional. I'm like, oh, but Michelle, but yeah, thank you for gracing
I
us with your presence.
promise. I really was so invested in that. No, it was actually just an honor to have been invited, and yeah, I don't take that
Yeah.
lightly. Right, there's got to be a reason why I had to drag you onto my platform. I
Okay.
saw that you are doing something special in the community.
Okay.
You have since founded the non-profit organization. Tell me about it. I need to know more. What's happening there?
Okay, it's an NPO, as you would know. It's a non-profit organization. It was founded
Yes.
by me, Ntombane,
Hmm.
this year,
Yes.
on the 13th of February, which is was like a coincidence for my company to be registered on my son's birthday. So yeah, my little
Oh,
Tilo
is
was
it?
born.
Okay, I'll have to remember that
Yeah.
birthday. Uh-huh.
So that is when BoikanobaBotshelo was founded. How I got to, come up with the name. Um, I took the names of both my boys, which my older son is Botshelo, the younger one is Boikano.
Mhm.
So if you combine that,
Right.
it's a very beautiful meaning, which means commitment to life. So that's when I decided to name
Sure.
my baby Boikano Babutsilo, meaning commitment to life, which simply means
Mhm.
I'm committed to life, not only to my life, but to the
Wow.
lives of other people as well. So what Boikano Babutsilo does, we are an NPO giving food to the needy, taking care of vulnerable families, women and children. We cover
Hmm.
quite a big spectrum in the community, but my love specifically is for women and children. Though we're still doing, we're covering up everything, like I said, but basically my main focus will be on those ones because, when you empower women, it stretches in the community.
Then you've
So,
been
yeah,
powered.
that's my
Yes.
baby.
Right.
Kind of, I would say. Mm.
Sure. That's a bouncing baby.
Yes.
But I must commend you for I always say these are nudges from the Holy Spirit. So
Yes.
when you responded to that gut feeling, that idea, that had to be an idea from God. And I reason I particularly your story, it just jumped, it came alive when I saw it is um in our walk with God, we've got to have a heart for people because that's just what
Definitely.
Christ Himself did. He had a heart for
Yes.
people. You see stuff
Mm.
that breaks God, that breaks His heart. Now, your heart, it also starts breaking when you see women and kids that are vulnerable and you want to reach out and um, you just want to do more and you took the first step, which is the most difficult thing to do. You took the first step and you started. Well done and congratulations. Right,
Thank
so
you.
since
Thank
Feb, how's the journey been? I'm sure every journey has ups and downs and challenges and how's it been for yourself?
Um, it gets emotional in a sense that,
Right.
for things, for me and you, Michelle, for things that are normal to us, like, going to bed,
Hmm.
having food, for some people, it's not normal, you know. For them to get a
Right.
meal, it's not normal. Things that we take for
Mm.
granted. For
Yeah.
people, it's like, it's
Hmm.
a wow. So it can really get
Hmm.
very emotional for me. Um, so it has been a roller coaster ride. Those things can be
Right.
really disturbing, but you always try and ask God to give you
Hmm.
strength because alone we cannot do it. As you were
Hmm.
saying, that Christ Himself
Right.
was also an ambassador. So the reason why I took
Mm.
it upon myself was that I come from a family that's giving. My grandfather was a pastor, my grandmother as well. So for us to give in the
Hmm.
community was quite a norm, you know. But what then I didn't understand that, sometimes taking people in doing all these things can be emotionally draining, which is said with the sense that
Right.
you also need power from the Holy Spirit for God to guide you through this journey. But in overall, it's a beautiful
Right.
feeling, when you're done helping people, for someone to say thank you, that really goes a long way
Mm.
for me.
Mm.
So yeah, it has been a
Right.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey.
Wow. I actually like how you mentioned that um, this generosity you also took it from the grandparents. They literally
Mm.
didn't sit you down and say, Ntombane, you must give. No, you saw, and then it
Yes.
became your nature. And I see this in
And I
you for
didn't
moments when I'm
understand
in
it.
your space that,
Mm.
yeah, you
You
probably
know,
you're wondering why are they taking my sugar to give somebody else?
yes, when you're growing up, you
Didn't
never
make
understand those
sense.
things that do they really have to do that? When you're sitting as a family, it's a
Mm,
Sunday, you come from church, and then the next thing you're expected to dish up. Number one, in the morning when we wake up, we were never used to, you're not allowed to cook for if you're a family of five. We never were allowed to cook for five
mhm,
people. My grandfather was like, just make sure you,
right.
cook an extra plate. And it was such a burden,
Wow.
Michelle, you know. And
Mhm,
family times for us was never
sure.
really family times because you'll be seated in the dining room enjoying your favorite whatever soapy, and then there's people coming in. Sure, I tell you, that used to make us
And
so
that knock
angry.
always comes at that time, eh? The visitors always come at that time.
Yeah, yo. But I tell
Yeah,
you,
sure.
I remember when my grandfather passed away, the first thing that we
Mhm,
noticed as a family was that the house was empty. We
right.
never were used to that the house is now empty. The house was like
Uh-huh,
so quiet, no one coming in. And for some reason,
right.
we kind of missed
Uh-huh,
it, the house going in and out, people coming in and out. So that's when you realize
mhm,
that you see these things are now instilled in you. So yeah,
right.
that's how
Sure.
that's how all this the
Wow.
love started. Mm.
Sure. I think with time, I actually just want to hear more about your granddad. He sounds like he was just that people magnet. He drew people. One day we'll have coffee and we'll talk about your
Yeah,
granddad.
yeah,
Are these then the values that you would also want to pass down to your sons?
definitely. Fortunately enough, when Michelle,
Mhm.
for my older son, he portrays a lot of those qualities from my grandfather. You know, he always
Right.
takes interest
Hmm.
in people. I remember a week
Right.
ago we went to
Hmm.
local supermarket. So there were these guys that were standing, that would stand in the robots. And now he wants to open the window and give them something. And it was late, around 6 o'clock. I was like, Butsilo, you can't do that. And he's like,
Yeah.
Mama, why are you not trusting?
Mm.
I just want to give them food. And I thought to
Sure.
myself, sure,
Sure.
that's that's really beautiful coming from a 12-year-old.
Wow.
So for
From
him to
him,
always,
yes.
for a child, especially a 12-year-old, you wouldn't really expect that a 12-year-old will be, so giving. So for me, like I'm
Wow.
saying, I don't think it
Wow.
will be far off for them to even understand because it's also it's in them.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Sure. Now already he's taught me one thing: trust. You were holding on to that. Okay, in that moment, you were thinking of your safety because the world that we're
Yes,
living in is not safe. And
unfortunately,
for
yes.
him, he's not even concerned about that. He's like, just
Mm,
trust God. I'm here. I'm giving somebody the next meal, and that's all I need
yes,
to do.
yes,
Oh,
mm,
oh, so help me God. Wow. Okay, that's a lesson in its own. Phew. I also
definitely.
need a coffee date with him,
Yeah,
with your permission.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
Right.
Michelle.
So I want to go back to this journey that you've been backed on. What's been your best giving experience? Maybe just one moment, one individual that stood out. What would you say is the best giving experience?
Best giving experience. Sure. There's quite a few, hey. But like I said earlier on, Michelle, is that
Yeah.
when you go to these families and you see the gratitude in them, that's the best for me,
Hmm.
you know. And
Right.
sometimes you would go there and you're thinking, sure, I don't have enough, for them to give.
Mhm.
And when you go to them, it's like, sure. And when someone says, God bless you, that's all I need. Not only
That's
for
it.
me, but yes, I
Yes, that's
receive
it.
that blessing for me to
Yeah.
continue helping
Hmm.
them. Remember, there's a lot of families, you know,
Right.
so you can only do so
Mm.
much. But if you receive those blessings, Michelle, to say, God
Right.
bless you, then you know that it
Hmm.
will move on to more and more and more, touching more families. So for me, giving, if you
Right.
give cheerfully, God blesses that. So if you receive that, God bless you, you know that that's being a cheerful giver.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the best experience.
But has there been any bad experiences in a way? I don't
Yeah.
know what bad would be, but have you experienced something bad?
Um,
Something that was bad?
bad experiences for me, Michelle, would be not being able to reach everyone, you know. Because you
Right.
must remember when we go to these
Mhm.
communities, okay, we know we are handing say 20 parcels to families, and then obviously them being in a community, probably they would say, no, okay, today we are receiving this, and then someone comes and then extra families, and you can't even give to everyone. That's the worst
Right.
thing for me personally,
Mhm.
not being able to reach out anyone. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's the bad
Oh, I guess
experience for me that
it,
you can.
uh, I think it's just that look of disappointment when you know, okay, we've
Yeah,
just handed the last parcel and there was the next person in the queue, and you literally see their heart drop, but now you
exactly.
can't
Yeah,
even do anything. Sure.
yeah,
Right. But
yeah,
I think I must also just uh these are still early days.
yeah,
And like I said, you've taken the first step, which was the bold step. Um, the ground to cover is vast. There is many families that still must be impacted, but we will do a family a day. I think it would
yeah,
also be one of those to try and separate yourself, to remove that burden, to say, I need to feed everybody now. And it's impossible. We've got to take a step, one step after the other. Today it's two,
yeah.
tomorrow 10. And then we will cover more families and more families. And I think it's even going to lead me to my next question. How are you doing this? Is it from your pocket? Do you have people you've partnered with? Because it's not easy to just even try to think of, I'm going to put a parcel together and then I'm going to go to this community. Obviously, maybe you need a person who knows somebody, connections. I don't know. Are you partnered with anybody at the moment?
Currently, Michelle, we rely on family, friends. Social media is a very powerful tool. So once in a
Right.
while, I would post on my status, especially if I'm gonna have a weekend dedicated to go give. From friends that, guys,
Mm.
if you've got clothes that you're no longer using that can help somebody else. And then in terms of food, I do it out of my own family's pocket. So yeah, we
Sure.
currently don't have any sponsors, we don't have any donations.
Mhm.
However, I must recognize a church from where I'm currently am here in Springs that donated food for us, um, which is called
Right.
Hillside Church, which also did donate. So currently we rely on friends, we
Mhm.
rely on family, and we rely on such mediums, the one that you invited me to,
Right.
for
Mhm.
to at least reach and help us in the best
Right.
possible way. Anything is welcome. You can be so surprised, Michelle. You might be thinking, "Ish, no, I can't give to anyone." But when it gets to somebody, when you give those people, it's like it's heaven, you know. So yeah,
Wow.
we
Makes you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. You feel good, I guess. Right.
but
So
currently,
if
yeah,
I want to partner with you, or maybe if somebody who's watching this video, uh, watching the live, or who's going to watch it later, if then maybe we want to contribute something, how do we get hold of you? I know I've got your Instagram profile handle. I will post it in the comments, and then maybe some people may reach to you that way. Is that the best way people would want to reach?
yes,
Could.
definitely. We are active on those mediums, Facebook,
Hmm.
BoikanobaBotshelo, and on Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, we are
Right.
available on those two mediums. Yes. And you can email us at
Okay.
boikanobabotselo@gmail.com. So yeah, yes.
All right. So this work that you're doing is amazing, and I actually didn't know that this is coming from your pockets. That level of sacrificial giving, it never goes unnoticed in heaven's books, which is the one thing that I know, and I'm going to share with you. It won't go unnoticed. Um,
Yes.
Sometimes people want an instant return. Oh, I've given, I want now. But we don't know now what is being put together for you as a replenishment of what you've given. So this would mean now you work lots of the times with your husband. Tell me that experience, because I know um, are decisions easy to make when you work together like that? Mind you, I'm a person who's
Hmm.
asking out of marriage. When you guys who are married, what's it like? Yeah.
Michelle. Yeah, you do get those days. Remember, I'm a woman, so I always change my mind.
Uh-huh.
But I must say, he's been a
Right.
blessing. And I guess even with Tepo as
Right.
well, it's not so hard for him to give out his time, to help me
Right.
do all these things because also his mom also, she's very actively involved in the community as having also one of her NPO as well. So, for him, this is also quite a norm, you know.
Right.
Besides the community, Tsepo is the type of person that when you don't have this, he will be there for you. Whether be it
Right.
financially with his time, but he's just a giver. So for him
Right.
to help me with BoikanobaBotshelo, it's not something difficult, you know. So yeah,
Wow.
actually,
Wow.
I try and
True. I like
involve
that.
everyone, yes, including the kids as well.
Yeah.
It must also be a norm.
Mm.
As much as for him, he grew up being a norm, being surrounded by, people that needed to be helped. I would also wish to instill that
Hmm.
in my boys, which, like I said, that with my older one, it's something that's already there for him. So it must be a norm for
Right.
us as
Mm.
Christians to do this, you know? Yeah.
Wow. Sure. Okay. I like that. I see. I think it's one of those, there's common vision, then it's easier for everyone to come together and do the work. Less disagreements, because I know most people would try and avoid. Okay, hubby stays there, I stay there because we don't want to clash. But when the vision is the same, it makes it easier for you guys to work together. Ah, you
definitely.
see now. I also want a coffee date with the two of you.
Hey, yeah, Michelle, you've got so many interviews.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I want to have so many coffee dates. um, I actually never asked in the beginning, though you mentioned your granddad and you mentioned your grandmother. Uh, who had the most impact in your life then, or maybe still today, growing up or now? Who's had that most influence?
My grandfather. He passed away
Is it?
12 years
Yes,
ago. Yeah, when my son was born.
right.
But sometimes I still find myself so teary when I think of him because you can say that
Yeah.
all the values in life that I hold highly, it was as a result of
Hmm.
my grandfather. Yeah,
Right.
intelligent Michelle, intelligent man. It's unfortunate. I feel where I'm
Hmm.
sitting right now that I could have grasped a lot from him, you know.
Right.
So yeah,
Hmm.
he's been he's been a father, though sometimes you wouldn't
Right.
understand some of the things that he used to do. But now everything
Hmm.
makes sense when you're an adult and when you're growing your kids that,
Right.
oh, okay, this was done
Yeah.
as a result for me to do this or to, turn out like this.
Hmm.
But they've been a beautiful team, him and my grandmother, in raising the beautiful woman that you see today. So, yeah, I have to give it up to them.
Ah, I'm sure he smiles down just hearing that. And I think most of the time we want to have more time so we can draw like sponges, but because life happens, then we are separated in that way. But also look at it as now the baton has been handed to you, and it's time for you to run your race. You At least you've got the blueprint of how it must be done. It's your turn to run the race. Run it with all you have, with all your might,
Yes,
and faithfully so. And you'll be amazed now when you look back, you're like, wow, God, you and I, we did this. And I think along the way, when you meet friends who also will support, it will become so much, so much, so much easier. Uh, I'm proud of you. I'm proud to be
thank you, Michelle.
associated with you.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
when I
When you
see you,
invited me, I thought, sure, Michelle, what am I gonna be talking about? Yo, I thought of ways, how am I gonna sound so fancy for Michelle? And I thought, okay, no, Domani, you don't
oh
have to be
my
fancy.
word.
Just
Why?
speak
Why?
from the heart.
Why must you sound fancy? No?
I don't know, Michelle. I just thought, really, what
Ah,
am I gonna be talking about with Michelle? But
no.
yeah,
You
I
see, we've
just
spoken about a lot of things already.
thank you, Michelle.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
No, no, don't mention it. I just want to pray for you. Um, I pray that God enables you to run this race that you have started. May He give you the power, the boldness, the confidence that you've always had. May you exude that confidence a little bit more. May He give you the grace. May He send you divine connections, divine partners to make the journey bearable. But I also pray that whatever you've removed, whatever you've parted with, whatever you've given from your bosom, may God replenish it and restore it 1,000 times more. May you increase in your generosity as you are refreshing other families, may your family be refreshed. May you guys stand in unity, teach the kids the ways of the Lord. May they grow in them and may they never depart from them. Above all, I pray that the heart of God, it continues to grow within you, and may we see it and never fight or resist it. Um, all this I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. I cannot wait to see you grow and grow and grow beyond borders even. You've started. This is the seed. Don't, before I go, do not despise the days of humble beginnings. You've sown the seed. Now, in faith, believe God will water your seed. That's it. And relax. Do everything else.
Yeah.
Your 9 to 5, your 9 to 6, do that. The rest, God is going to take care in the background. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're an amazing lady. You're beautiful. You are fierce. You are unstoppable. And never let anybody else tell you otherwise. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Ah,
Mwah.
yeah. Thanks.
Mm. So until next time. So the next one, you are coming to tell us big news, whenever that is. You are the one who's going to even
Yeah.
request, Michelle, let's do that one. I want to celebrate all
Yes.
your successes and I can't wait for
Thank you, Miss.
that.
Thank you.
All right. I just want to say to everybody else out there, thanks guys for watching. Oh, I didn't ask. Is there anything that you want to say, some words of encouragement maybe you want to say to whoever's going to watch this video?
Okay, now I wanna sound fancy, Michelle. There isn't really much.
Mhm.
It's just what I would like to say, you know, especially from a Christian background, I would say, um,
Right,
BoikanobaBotshelo, it's not the only thing that we can do, but every day be a
right,
giver. Remember, if you
right,
sow sparingly, God will give sparingly. If you sow generously,
right,
God will do the same. So you don't have to be in an
right,
organization, you don't have to be fancy, but do it every day and be a giver. Do your best and God will do the rest.
right.
Yeah,
Sure. Wow.
yeah.
Those are some deep words. So every day, it's a lifestyle, really. It starts with you, starts with me, and just with the next person. Doesn't have, I don't have to travel 10 miles, well, 100 Ks from here to just show an act of kindness. It starts with your neighbor. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Sadly, that brings us to the end of our chit chat. But I'm so glad I could have these few minutes to chat with you. So, everybody else who watches this, please let us know your thoughts, your positive um, comments, your encouragements for Ntombane as she journeys on this chapter of her life. I'd really, really appreciate it. And be sure to reach out to her through her Instagram and you can discuss further. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye, Michelle. Bye, everyone.